Hello and welcome to the Three Seas Virtual Summit. Welcome to Tallinn. I'm Gideon Rachman, Chief Foreign Affairs Commentator for the Financial Times. It's my great pleasure to have come from Britain to Estonia to be your host and moderator for this conference, which brings together political leaders and heads of state from across the region. And we'll also be getting contributions from key decision makers in Washington and Brussels. Let's start with some short videos.
From Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended across the continent. Since Churchill made that speech, the world has changed dramatically, especially here between the Baltic, the Adriatic, and also the Black Sea, where a new partnership has descended known as the Three Seas Initiative. The Three Seas is made up of diverse EU member states. Their stories are unique, but they all have one chapter in common. For half a century, they were closed off from the rest of Europe by the Iron Curtain. We can still see the effect of that today. While Western European nations are deeply intertwined through energy and transport links, the nations of the Three Seas remain relatively disconnected from each other. But we are now writing a new chapter together in which millions will benefit from new investments and smarter connectivity. In fact, the Three Seas region has already become a driving force for economic growth in Europe, outperforming the EU average by 67% over recent years. To turbocharge that growth, the Three Seas is now combining its political will and economic might to significantly improve its energy, transport, and digital infrastructure. Their focus is on smart connectivity to create new opportunities for future innovations. That includes improving data exchange to make more efficient use of information. By taking decisive action now, the Three Seas will continue to drive economic growth in Europe and strengthen both our competitiveness and our relationships across the world in this chapter and beyond.
We now come to the highlight of this year's Three Seas Forum, hosted by Estonia. The coronavirus pandemic's made it impossible to have a full in-person summit and business forum. Instead, Estonia's used all its technological know-how to achieve the objectives of the 2020 Three Seas initiative. So let me talk you through the day's events. We're starting with a virtual panel, bringing together the presidents of the Three Seas participating countries. We'll then continue with a debate and discussion between heads of state and political leaders from the EU and the US on the impact of the Three Seas on regional development, and also its broader impact on Europe as a whole and on transatlantic relations. After that, it'll be time to hand over to the next hosts of the Three Seas initiative and for a press conference. The web forum will then get underway with a panel on smart money. This initiative's designed to promote cooperation between 12 European nations and their partners, contributing to economic growth and energy security. The focus is on cross-border infrastructure projects and also on raising private capital for funding. The idea is that a combination of the higher-than-average growth of the Three Seas area combined with political support will draw in private capital. And we'll be hearing about the Three Seas Initiative Investment Fund, which most participating countries have now joined or have pledged to join. The web forum will then continue with a session on defending democracy and connectivity in cyberspace. The focus will be how to ensure that technological advances are compatible with national security and the protection of democracy. The last block of the evening's all about smart connectivity, which has been Estonia's main focus. Smart connectivity is the push to link energy and transport infrastructure with digital platforms and services. The goal's to make the Three Seas region flourish as a global hotspot for smart mobility and energy innovation. Then, before we wrap up, there'll be two special announcements, one from Google and one from the President of Estonia. You can also follow the event through social media channels, facebook.com/3seaseu and twitter.com/3seaseu. And footage from today's event will also be later available on 3seas.eu. And now, the panel of presidents. And now let's move to the President's panel. Hello, Slovenia and President Borut Pahor. If I could ask you, President Pahor, why is the Three Seas initiative important for Slovenia?
Geographic position of Slovenia, as well as its open economy, demand for better connectivity with neighboring countries. As a host of the last year's summit of the Three Seas initiative here in Slovenia, I can openly say that the initiative has grown into a flexible platform for boosting of development of the countries located between Baltic, Black and Adriatic seas. At the same time, faster development of Three Seas initiative countries would, according to our view, greatly contribute to wider EU prosperity. For Slovenia, all three pillars of the Three Seas initiative are equally important. The economic development of the Central and Eastern Europe through infrastructure connectivity. Secondly, increased convergence among EU member states. This would help avoiding artificial east-west divides and should further stimulate EU integration. And thirdly, Three Seas initiative aims at strengthening the transatlantic ties. From our perspective, it is very important that all three areas of interest, energy sector, transport, and digital connectivity, are placed within the framework of sustainable development. With Three Seas initiative, we have a unique opportunity to transform this part of Europe into a modern, sustainable, and innovative society.
Thank you, Mr. President. So could I ask you specifically, where do you see the Three Seas initiative in, say, 5 years' time?
We certainly hope and will do our best for the Three Seas initiative to achieve better connectivity in all three areas of interest: energy, transport, and digital infrastructure. With already proven political will, and with the establishment of the Three Seas Initiative Fund, we have laid a foundation for real work to start. Our main challenge is how we manage political message. I would not like to see Three Seas Initiative to contribute to new divisions in Europe. Three Seas Initiative should never be seen as a bloc of certain EU member states against other EU member states. It should rather contribute to EU unity and transatlantic ties.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now to Lithuania and President Gitanas Nausėda. If I could ask you, from a Lithuanian perspective, why is the Three Seas initiative so important?
It is a great pleasure for me to welcome you all at the opening of the web forum of the Three Seas initiative. I would like to take the opportunity to express our appreciation to the President of the Republic of Estonia for the excellent organization of today's meetings. Lithuania sees the Three Seas initiative as a unique regional instrument aimed at deepening strategic cooperation with the United States. It serves our shared interest to boost national and regional security. It is also a practical tool to accelerate our cohesion with the rest of the European Union and to bridge our infrastructural gaps. Modern infrastructure is what we need for facilitation of economic relations and competitive growth, as well as for military mobility and resilience building. Energy and transport sectors are vital to our national security. At the time when misuse of energy resources and transport for political domination is still widespread, the right response for us is integration into the single European Union market. Lithuania already has a remarkable success story. For us, the diversification of energy resources has become a reality. The Lithuanian LNG terminal today provides liquefied gas to 5 out of 12 Three Seas initiative countries. The newly developed gas infrastructure in the region will expand these opportunities. Finally, we are united by the shared goals of going greener and smarter. The future of the Three Seas region is to become a smart region that is carbon-free, digitized, and well integrated within the European Union. Let's build this future together.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I could ask you, specifically for the Baltic region, what are the benefits that the Three Seas initiative offers?
There are many ambitious projects that Lithuania carries out right now. In 5 years, Rail Baltica and Via Baltica will reconnect the three Baltic states to the rest of the region and the wider European Union. Our electricity systems will be synchronized with the continental European networks. Our gas systems will be coupled by the gas interconnection Poland-Lithuania. I think these projects are the cornerstones for our integration into the single market. They bring a huge change to our economies and improve our security. Higher connectivity on the north-south axis will create conditions for the growth and trade, competitiveness, and regional integration. Innovation and digitalization will drive progress across sectors. By acting together, our countries will produce much more smart, sustainable, and green solutions.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now to Slovakia, President Zuzana Kaputova. If I could ask you, Madam President, from the Slovakian point of view, what's the point of the Three Seas initiative?
Dear Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, recent COVID outbreak has not only shaken our confidence, changed our habits and crippled our economies, but it once again reminded us about the importance of coordination and cooperation among the European countries. We all face long-term challenges. I especially think about our economies, climate crisis, or even better infrastructure. Challenges that none of us can solve alone. Our countries share economic similarities. 16 of 20 regions with lowest GDP per capita in the EU are in the Three Seas countries. We need to bring growth and increase dynamics in these regions. The best answer is to join our forces, to reinforce what the European Union provides, a room for more cooperation, more connections, and better infrastructure. Slovakia will be supportive to any activity that delivers on these challenges and improves the European Union's cohesion. We will support concrete proposals and projects that will be conducive to goals we have set at EU level and will help achieve their operability and success. Therefore, I recognize the importance of engaging our executive ministers and taking the lead in the implementing the projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. So looking at it from Central Europe, what advantages does the Three Seas initiative offer?
Slovakia, as a small open economy, has a principal interest in deepening cooperation and coordination with every European country. For the Three Seas, Central Europe is a crossroad. This is the reason why we naturally support every initiative that will enhance connectivity within the European Union and will be governed by its principles and policies.
Thank you, Madam President. And now let's move to Latvia and President Egils Levits. President Levits, if I can ask you, from your point of view, from Latvia's point of view, what's the attraction of the Three Seas initiative?
This year's initiative summit demonstrates our joint commitment towards better connectivity of our regions, connectivity in the fields of energy, transport, and digitalization. Let me give you a brief Latvian perspective on the initiative. Showing a real commitment, in May 2020, the government of Latvia decided to support a financial contribution to the Three Seas Investment Fund. The projects submitted by Latvia for considerations are based on a number of principles. First, renewable energy is a priority for Latvia, both because of our commitment to climate change goals and to the region's energy security. Second, we need a rail corridor from the Baltic states to link us to Western Europe. In the 1920s, Latvians could board the Nord Express sleeping car at Riga railway station and arrive in Berlin 15 hours later. 100 years later, Rail Baltica will be the fast rail link connecting the Baltic states to Western Europe and possibly eventually the far north. Thirdly, now more than ever, it is important to develop a human-centered digital economy. Our vision is one of highly developed 5G networks and artificial intelligence harnessed to promote Euro-Atlantic values.
Thank you, Mr. President. And if I could ask you to elaborate, how do you think that the Three Seas initiative helps Europe as a whole?
Friends, for us, the Three Seas initiative is also a way to strengthen the transatlantic bond. We believe that the success of Three Seas initiative lies in continuous involvement of partners, the United States, Germany, and the European Commission. Ambition combined with imagination, a clear vision, and a responsible attitude will help us move Three Seas initiative projects from paper into reality. These are projects that could help our countries individually and will cause the whole region to become more resilient and competitive. The Three Seas Initiative is an important instrument in our hands. Let us make good use of it. Our progress will be judged at our next summit in Bulgaria 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now let's move to the Czech Republic and President Miloš Zeman. President Zeman, if I could ask you, from a specifically Czech point of view, tell me about the Three Seas Initiative.
Hello to everybody and greetings from Prague. I appreciate highly the idea of Three Seas Initiative. Do you know why? Because it is not only an opportunity for cooperation and friendship, but it is a good hint for new type of infrastructure investment. And you know that according to economic theory, just this type of investment produces the highest multiplier effect. So, and in the frame of infrastructural investment, as a president of Czech Republic, I support the river transport. River transport connecting three seas. And you know that compared with highways or railways, the rivers are the second league, so to say. And what a pity, because we need connect the rivers and seas, and I am very happy that in the last summit of Three Seas in Slovenia, just the project of water corridor connected Donau, Oder and Elbe was included into the final declaration. Friends, I wish you all the best and good luck and full success for your negotiations.
Thank you, President Zeman. Now let's move to Romania and President Klaus Iohannis. Mr. President, can I ask you, from the Romanian perspective, what's the attraction of the Three Seas Initiative?
As an economic, needs-driven platform of cooperation, the Three Seas Initiative aims at closing the development gaps between the participating countries and the rest of the European Union by promoting connectivity, the EU convergence and cohesion, while strengthening the transatlantic link. 2 years after the Bucharest summit and the first business forum that I had the pleasure to host, I'm confident that the initiative is advancing at a good, steady pace. Thus, I would like to welcome Estonia's contribution to the consolidation of this platform as host country of this year's summit. For Romania, the implementation of the major connectivity projects under the Three Seas Initiative is a strategic priority. 2 projects in the field of transportation are of outstanding economic importance and strategic value for us. Rail to Sea is a railway line between the port of Gdansk at the Baltic Sea and the port of Constanța at the Black Sea. Via Carpathia is a north-south trans-European road route stretching through Romania. The establishment of the investment fund, with the initial participation of Poland and Romania, is a major achievement. Recent decisions of more states from our region to join the fund will drive its transformation into a truly regional financial instrument. In view of advancing the 3Cs initiative's goals, we should be able to use the different sources of funding, be it governmental or European funds, the funds pledged by the United States in support of the projects in the region, private investments, or the 3Cs Initiative Investment Fund.
Thank you, Mr. President. And can I ask you specifically for the Black Sea region, what can the 3Cs Initiative bring?
For Romania, the Black Sea and the Danube River are strategic sources of development, connecting our country to major trade routes from east to west and north to south. They represent one integrated connectivity asset and must be addressed as such within the wider political narrative of the 3Cs Initiative and in the framework of the Euro-Atlantic Connectivity Dialogue. It would be highly beneficial for the entire region and for the European Union to integrate the Black Sea-Danube connection in new international trade, energy, and transport corridors, as well as to finalize several major existing European infrastructure projects. The further modernization of the Constanța seaport will also play a crucial and timely role in this regard. I hope the future 3C summits and business forums will advance an even stronger connectivity agenda in the Black Sea and the Danube area, a goal that Romania will fully support.
Thank you, Mr. President. And finally, let's move to Austria and President Alexander Van der Bellen. Mr. President, can I ask you, from the Austrian point of view, tell me about the 3Cs initiative and why it's important.
Greetings from Vienna. Thank you for hosting this year's 3Cs Virtual Summit and for giving me the opportunity to address you despite my absence. Let me come straight to the point. The 3Cs initiative is important to Austria because at its heart lies the question of cohesion. For anyone trying to understand Europe, grasping the importance of cohesion is key. We have achieved much. The European Union has powerful mechanisms in place in order to promote it. The European Commission works hard to advance towards it. Billions of euros have been spent on infrastructure projects in the member countries of the initiative. But we all acknowledge that a lot more remains to be done. The 3Cs initiative adds political impetus to this aim. In Austria's view, it is vital that the European Commission and other partners join us in this. With the COVID crisis permeating our continent and dictating our lives, societies, and policies, we cannot afford duplicating existing structures. Supporting and optimizing ongoing EU efforts is therefore not only well justified, but self-evident. Thereby, we will be able to strengthen cohesion along the north-south axis between the Baltic region and the Adriatic, as well as the Black Sea. For Austria, it is clear that in doing so, our efforts have to be sustainable. They must contribute to addressing the climate crisis. Thereby, not only our countries, but the entire European Union, Europe as a whole, will stand to benefit from it.
Thank you, Mr. President. And can I ask you, specifically for Austria, what does the 3Cs initiative bring?
Austria is a natural partner in the 3Cs initiative. This is not just a question of history or geography, with Austria providing a physical link between the countries of the initiative. In fact, Austria has been extremely closely connected with most of the partner countries for many years. Our businesses and financial institutions know the region very well. They provide the human fabric and know-how for implementing infrastructure projects between the three seas. This, in my view, is an essential element for building cohesion. Madam President, allow me to conclude by congratulating you and your team for organizing and hosting this summit. I wish you a successful event and hope to be able to see all of you in person again very soon. Thank you and take care.
Thank you, Mr. President. And that brings to an end the virtual panel sessions of this Three Seas initiative. And we'll now move on to the debate and discussion. And just listening to all those presentations, it brought to mind a lot of the themes that I'd like to bring out in this next session. It's very striking and kind of poignant in this period when the coronavirus has severed so many of the connections between countries that we've learned to take for granted, that people are looking forward through this Three Seas initiative and thinking about how to build connectivity for the future, whether that's infrastructure of rivers, as we heard from the Czech Republic, or rail, or road, or new ports. It's all about bringing people together. Another way in which the Three Seas initiative is, I think, really quite distinctive is this emphasis on private capital. Again, because of the coronavirus, there's been a huge emphasis on raising public money, whether it's through national governments or through the European Union. But the Three Seas initiative, as you just heard, is also trying to leverage the private sector through imaginative ways of getting the government and private companies to work together. And then finally, a theme that you will have heard in a lot of these presentations is the political background to this initiative, because this is, of course, an important sub-region of the European Union, but it's one in which the United States is taking a very clear and direct interest. And we'll be hearing direct from Washington, D.C., from the US Secretary of State for Energy. Also, as a sub-region of the EU, it poses an interesting question for the European Union as a whole. So how does the EU relate to the Three Seas initiative? Again, we'll get a very senior figure from the European Commission who'll be interacting with presidents from this region. So let's now move to the debate and discussion.
While Western Europe is deeply intertwined through energy and transport links, the nations of Central and Eastern Europe are still relatively disconnected from each other. That infrastructure investment gap is currently estimated to be 1.15 trillion euros. Fixing this disparity is a key objective of the Three Seas. The initiative brings together 12 EU member states between the Baltic, Black, and Adriatic Seas. Our region offers excellent opportunities to invest in infrastructure projects. The hardest part is finding out about them. That's why we have created a website for priority interconnection projects. Every country has listed their most important infrastructure projects in the energy, transport, and digital sectors. The projects are searchable by different categories. For example, an investor can choose to take a look at projects registered by Estonia in the field of energy. They will find a regional LNG terminal planned in Paldiski. They can read more about it, including key information on financing, budgets, and current progress. In addition to the individual projects, the website presents the overall progress as a status report. Go to 3seas.eu, select priority projects, and find your opportunity. In 2019, Estonia was named as the host for this year's Three Seas Summit. Since then, we've been working hard, and not just rescheduling the event because of the complexities of the pandemic. Our work has focused on consolidating the Three Seas as an initiative. We did this in 5 key ways. First, we oversaw the growth of the Three Seas Initiative Investment Fund and put our own skin in the game. Estonia joined the fund as a core investor and was followed by 5 more countries that have either already joined or have made political decisions to join, taking the total number up to 8. In addition, the United States has reaffirmed its pledge to invest up to $1 billion towards the development of our region's infrastructure. Second, We increased the practical value of cooperation between the Three Seas governments by hosting the first of many Three Seas foreign ministers meetings in June 2019. It is important to increase the role of the governments as it is in their capacity to implement change. This way, we're getting more done. Third, we ensured the smooth functioning and continuity of the Three Seas cooperation platform. This included creating a technical secretariat, developing a permanent visual identity, and communication channels such as our new website and social media presence. Fourth, we updated the list of key connectivity projects in our region across energy, transport, and digital sectors, and 20 new ones have been added. These projects are available for investors to discover on a clear and easy-to-access website. Our final deliverable is the one we believe will have the most significant impact on all of our futures: smart connectivity. Smart connectivity is our push to link our energy and transport infrastructure with digital platforms and services. This will support new business models and technologies and help make investments in energy and transport future-proof. It will help the Three Seas region flourish as a global hotspot for smart mobility and energy innovation, which will also help us develop and sell smart solutions around the globe. The consolidation phase of the Three Seas has been successful. Now, we need momentum to continue our journey. From all of us here in Estonia, thank you for giving us the opportunity to host this important event at a crucial time.